Hello everyone. Today's Command vs. DCS, we're going to be exploring some Russian airplanes, specifically the Mig-15. Now, as you probably know, the Mig-15 was kind of just a development that came off of some of the earlier fighters, such as 9, some of the early Yaks as well. Pretty decent jet. Definitely a early Cold War, definitely kind of that first, second sort of generation, armed with extremely large cannons with the intention of basically intercepting aircraft at high altitude. So the scenario we've gone ahead and set up today looks kind of like this. In this scenario, you can see that we have the good old UK. Intelligence suggests that they're preparing a very large group of bombers to be attacking us down here in France. Lucky for us, we have three small groups, basically the size of a regiment of MiG-15s ready to intercept, and we also have this all set up in DCS. Now, what I do know here is the fact that the MiG-15 was basically designed as an interceptor. You can definitely use it as a dogfighter, and it's very, very capable at that, but its weaponry is just too big and too slow firing to really give you that little edge that you need when you're engaging nimble fighters. On the flip side, when you use those 23mm, 37mm cannons against bigger aircraft such as bombers, it doesn't take much to knock them out of the air, and we'll see that hopefully in our little engagement today. So we've got everything set up. It's 1955. We don't even have the SA-2 yet, which is kind of disappointing. We've got to wait a few years for that. We'll have the SA-3 in a few more years also. We're barely even hitting supersonic at this point. I believe we might have the MiG-19 I think is still a couple years to go, but we do have the MiG-17 at this point. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time. So basically, we can't intercept anything unless we know that there is something that intercepted. So if you take a look along the coastline, you can see that there's a number of radar stations like that, kind of positioned to kind of keep an eye on what's going over there in England while all this is happening. Shoot. All right, it looks like we spotted some enemy aircraft that have just taken off. Pretty good number of them, so chances are they're not friendly. So what I'm going to do immediately is I'm going to start getting my guys launched as groups of 4. I don't want to waste any time with that launch. This airbase as well. Time's a ticking, but these aircraft can get airborne very quickly. Unfortunately, in DCS, they can't get airborne nearly this quickly, but at the same token as, kind of take what I can get sort of a thing. Group, scoot over here to the other airbase, and let's go ahead and launch these guys. They have a much, much longer drive to basically get to the fight, so you want to get these guys airborne ASAP. And then we'll go ahead and create the mission required to go ahead and get something. Okay, let's go ahead and set them up. So we'll go ahead and create a new mission here. Intercept. Air intercept, press OK. And let's see here. How do we want to do this? We want 2 sections each. We want to add all the targets that we have on the map. Seems to be more, so this looks like it's going to be a pretty big attack. We don't need that. We don't. Check that. Looks good. Now we're going to scoot down here, and we're going to add all these flights, which we've already scrambled, so that they can start doing what we kind of need to do. Take a look to make sure I didn't miss any. Last thing you know is got a couple destroyers, but there's not much they can do. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and fast forward time here. MiG-15s are starting to leave their air bases, and they're now on the way. When we do this in DCS, we'll probably pick the fight up from this point. Select the loads guys again. Let's add them all. Oh boy, there's quite a few of them. So if I had to predict, oh geez, there's even more. If I had to predict, I'd say we're probably going to lose maybe 5 or 6 MiGs, but we'll probably get 10 of them. DCS, on the other hand, I expect to maybe lose 2 MiGs, maybe 3 MiGs, probably at every single B-17 shot down. So it's going to be very interesting to see if that prediction is going to be accurate here. We'll be flying as one of the MiG, obviously. Oh, there's even more. The gift that keeps on giving. How many are we up to? We're up to 18. That is quite a formation. Now, if they were smart, they would have stuck together in a tighter bunch rather than, oh, there's even more, rather than being all spread out like that. Because when you do it, it just makes it easier for my MiGs to do. And let's take a look at our MiGs right now. So they're about 36,000 feet. They're going quick. It's probably about as fast as you safely can go in that particular. Remember that the MiG-15 did not have an all-moving tail. So when you're diving from outer space, essentially at 36,000 feet, relatively speaking, you're going to find that you can do a lot of damage to the plane. It's very difficult to control. These guys are at about 14,000 feet. Can't quite tell what they're doing here, but that's not a bad altitude for them. Remember, propeller planes operate a little bit better at that altitude. So it's about to be some quite insanity in a moment here. It's always fun to watch. And there's more. How many do we got now? We have 24 B-17s. Of course, how do you know it's a B-17? Because I programmed it. And let's start the bidding with this group right here. Begin. I've tried this scenario with B-52s, but it's so difficult to get up to altitude with the Mig-15 that the B-52 will outrun you. It's really scary. One of the things with the older B-52s also is they had the ability to mount those 20mm radar-controlled guns in the back, and they're extremely dynamite. You have to be very, very careful with that. Speed up time a little bit more. There we go. All right, they're doing some front attacks, which is tricky to do, especially with a high-moving, quick-moving aircraft. Spinning around, it looks like some of the bombers have already gotten through the initial kind of group. I can see another group is kind of zeroing in. You switch to this mode, you can actually see just how scattered and all over the place these guys are. It is going to be nutty in DCS watching this many aircraft on the screen at a time. We have to be very careful not to accidentally engage something that we're not supposed to. But honestly, the bombers are pretty obvious. Again, if it's silver or red, it's probably a MiG. If it's green, it's probably a bomber. So it won't be too difficult, except for the fact it's relatively early in the morning. So definitely going to make things tricky. So we're getting quite a few lost communications here. So there's some radio damage. Happens. I'll zoom in a little bit here. But overall, we've lost quite a few Mig-15s already. This is not good. One of the things with the B-17 is that it's extremely durable. So even if you hit it once or twice, that might not do it. You have to hit it a few times, and you have to hit it where it actually counts for it to really, really matter. Speed up time a little here. Kind of keep an eye on how things are going. You're going to get a lot of that. Apparently, all these guys have damage, and they've lost their radios. It can happen. We're just not being very successful at what we got left. Oh, we got plenty. But I won't be surprised if I start seeing the Mig-15s starting to make their way back home any second now. Doing thing. Okay, those guys are starting to return to base. They probably ran out of the good stuff. And for lack of a better phrase here, we did a terrible job intercepting those bombers. And now they're going to come and bomb camp. Kind of annoying. Well, there they go. Well, let's hope it's a windy day and nothing hits. There they go. Oh, miss. Miss. That does make me feel too bad. Let's try it again. Here they come. At least we got that going for ourselves here. Oh, something got hit that time. Did it actually do any real damage, though? Oh, yeah. It wrecked that pier. And here comes the next group of bombers. Oh, that was messy. That was messy. So I'm not going to lie. 3 squadrons worth of Mig-15s I sort of expected to be a little... Wherever you are, go home. I sort of expected them to be a little bit more capable. Let's go ahead and take a look at the losses here. We lost, oh my god, 18 aircraft. Oh boy, with the expenditure of quite a few rounds here. On the flip side, they lost 7 B-17s. This is, that's not good. All right, let's find out what happens in DCS. All right, here we are in DCS. We are on our way for some interesting Mig-15 intercept action. Now, there's a couple different strategies we're going to have to employ here, and it's going to be kind of interesting to see how well they work in this particular situation. One of the things that the Mig-15 is designed for is to act as basically compass, kind of a heavy interceptor in a way, because it is the 2 slow-firing 20-frame cannons, plus that one gigantic 37mm cannon. Keep in mind, if you're going up against something like an F-86, one of those shells will literally end its existence if you hit it just right. Really tremendous how effective it actually is. So anyway, we're going to be heading out in our direction. We'll check in with AWACS. It's not really AWACS, it's really GCI at this particular point. Kind of get a feel for where we need to be going, although if I recall correctly, we basically head north. Now, in command, you probably remember when this scenario went on, that all the intercepting aircraft basically climbed up to 36,000 feet. Pretty much dived down upon the unsuspecting B-17s. That's not a bad idea. It certainly gives you a bit of an advantage as far as the jump goes, and it gives you the nice differential velocity, which we'll talk about in a minute. But you don't need to go that high in order to build up strong enough climbing, or should say diving speed, to actually make the engagement work. One of the things I've discovered, and I'm sure you guys have discovered at some point as well, is if you go too fast down with this particular aircraft, it tends to be very, very difficult to control. Just check to make sure the airplane's up here. That's good. So anyway, let's go ahead and start climbing up, and we'll make our way over here. Now, the Mig-15, like I was saying a minute ago, is basically designed as an interceptor. It has a lot of firepower. It's substantially maneuverable, and it's kind of optimized for climb rate more than it's optimized for anything else. So, you know, it's not the best turner at low altitude. It's not to say that it can't. Yeah, this is way better than anything it had before. So anyway, let's go ahead and get our weaponry ready. Alright. I always like on the MiG-21 how the cannons are actually loaded with explosive cartridges. Good. Go ahead and make sure that the light's on. Alright, looking good. Also, while I'm at it, kind of make sure that I can go ahead and technically release my thing so we don't need them anymore. That maybe I switch on the side. There we go. I'm going to click down here. And I'm going to press that button once the action force starts. Now, the climbing speed on a Mig-15 is going to be around 650 knots true. Right now we're doing about 600, not knots, I should say kilometers an hour. About 650 knots on a kilometer true scale. Right now we're going just a little bit slow, so we're actually going to load this thing with a little bit more speed here. Anyway, like I was saying a minute ago, we don't need to go all the way up to 36,000 feet. We're going to be doing kind of a slicing attack. If we do that, of course, like I said, we're going to put out our speed brakes, and it's just going to be kind of messy, and it's going to be a lot of work to actually spot the targets as well. So the other thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go head over to my sight, and I'm going to put in the wingspan of the B-17s that we know we're going to be dealing with. And I'm going to go ahead and set my cannon for the range that I want to engage them at. 600 yards is pretty good. Keep in mind this is meters and yards. Just kidding. Set it to 500. So that would mean that when the B-17 is touching both edges here, that he's going to be in range for my 23mm cannons. Whether that's actually going to work or not, it gets complicated. Of course, I can always come down here and flip on the gyro sight, which is like, oh, this is useful. And so you go like this for about 2 seconds, and the gyro basically escapes you. I'm sure you guys have had plenty of experience with that particular tool. Alright, let's go ahead and keep climbing up here. That's a pretty good speed, about 650 kilometers per hour on the true scale. Pretty confident we're heading in the right direction with this one. Let's go and check my AWACS real quick.
999, 121, дайте курс на ближайшую цель. 121.
It's about 20 kilometers away, so pretty long. Go ahead and skip to the fun. Alright, time to make things interesting. So we got ourselves up to about 7,000 meters. These targets are just down there below. You can just about make out one. But throttle, push the nose down. Order our teammates to go ahead and engage. We're on our way. Arm guns, check. That's it. Alright, let's keep an eye on. Could be anywhere. Reflections on this thing are just a little too wrong. Is it this time of day? Go ahead and get rid of the drop tanks in just a moment. Still use them. Down. Highly banded 12 o'clock. Copy that. Or boy, there we go. There we go. Target spotted. You can see that they're moving in small formations. Alright, the best shot you can possibly take on these usually is kind of at a slice, kind of almost like an angle from above or an angle from below. Unfortunately, all that people can speed is just go like a waste of time finding targets. So what I'm going to do is try to make them front pass. This is very, very, very dangerous. required. Let's see what's going down right now. There's another group. Okay, so this is what you do not want to do. Don't want to just kind of target those guys right there and come flying right at them. If you do that, you're basically going to be like a Cessna walking up to a machine gun. It is not worth the effort. What you want to do instead is you want to accelerate really, really hard and basically come up underneath them. Alright, let's do it. So our goal here is to get a shot off and then basically zing right by. Get quite a few tracers here. Treat it kind of like a SAM. Oh no. Down, 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 down. Ah, it didn't work. Didn't have enough energy. And the targets here. Alright, they're certainly making things interesting for me. Ah, that was sloppy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just did not have the energy I thought I did back there. Oh, one of them's got hit. Good, he's gonna be my next victim. Keep an eye on him, check my right, make sure there's nothing sneaking up. Oop. Let's go say hello. Right. Speed up. Yeah, I didn't have nearly as much energy as I thought I did. That could have got me shot down. Alright, let's do it. Closing in. Whoa, watch out. I've seen that one. Oh, I think something hit me. Whoa, down, 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 down. Whoa, no you're not. Oh, I forgot I got rid of the drop tanks. That's my problem. You're not gonna get me that easy. Let's get rid of the stupid drop tanks. They're making things interesting for me. There we go. Sure got hit, but it doesn't feel too bad. I don't see any warning lights just yet. Not really. But I got a little bit of the good stuff left. Oh, this thing's so much better with that stupid tank. Note to self, don't forget to do that. And not gonna have enough energy to do it again. Stay with him. I think he's kind of distracted by one of my teammates there. Down, just a little bit more energy before I try to swing around him. It doesn't look like he's aiming at me, but it looks like our teammate's about to shoot him down. Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty good hit. Nope, he's not coming back from that. There's a parachute. Alright, let's see if there's anybody left. It's so difficult flying over the ocean. I'm guessing that's one of ours. There we go. Let's see if there's anybody left. But they just got hit. So let's look at that. Ah, it's clean. Alright, that's it. We have done it. I think I've only got slight battle damage. I don't see the hit. Probably underneath somewhere or something like that. I really should not have been that reckless, but you get kind of excited with sort of things like that. Alright, let's go ahead and exit out and kind of see the end results here. I think I damaged a couple. I don't think I actually got any victories. No, I'm only going to get damages for this one. But let's see how we did. So we lost a single Mig-15 plus battle damage, and they lost every single bomber. That is a major difference between this game and Command. It's just, I don't know what it is. It just takes less bullets or something like that, or they're just not as effective, or the pilots aren't as good, or something like that. So it's definitely kind of interesting and definitely worth checking out. Enjoy.